back to Engineer's Workshop. I'm over here at the K&T. I've got my Jig-Bore style boring head extension in the Kurt vise with my reference diameter facing forward, and showed you on the little SolidWorks update. I'm going to go ahead and make it flat, and I'm going to take that flat down to where it's tangent to that diameter there. We'll flip it over, put it up on a set of parallels, and then do the other side to match. And then I'll have two matching parallel faces to hold this in the horizontal position to begin the pocket milling on the top and on the side. So got a 3/4 inch solid carbide roughing end mill, the one I broke the flutes out of up at the top here, but the bottom is still in good shape. And 1000 RPM, I can take up to 200 thousandths depth of cut, which I don't think I'm going to do, at 5 inches a minute, and be around a 1/2 horsepower on the spindle. We got a 3/4 horse spindle motor, so let's go ahead and touch off. Maybe we'll try 100 thousandths to start. 100 thousandths depth of cut, 5 inches a minute. It'll do it, but you can hear it. You know, it didn't dawn on me when I was initially making the flats on the sides of this that if I made the flats tangent to my reference boss up at the top, that would automatically make them exactly the same distance from the center line of the part. So, you know, for the final passes of the milling, I just set up an indicator to test when those flats were just touching the, you know, locating boss on the top. Okay, this says I'm 112, 113 thousandths from reaching that step, so I can go one more increment on the quill before I start looking at a finer adjustment. I'm going to try to go real old school here. So we're 5, 10, 15, 20 thousandths. Nope, there's our high spot. 10, 11, 12, 13.5 thousandths. Let's try 13 thousandths. There's 13 thousandths. Shows I'm within one. Let's do 1/1000ths and see if I touch that surface there. It is cutting. Okay, if you remember, we were at 13 on the quill dial, so now we're at 14, so that was a 1/1000ths cut. Okay, we're 0 here. Wait for it. I'd say that's pretty amazing. So I'm going to pull this out, put a set of parallels in here, flip it over, and just duplicate this on the other side until we're tangent, and we'll have two flats parallel that are exactly the same distance from the center of that locating boss. I'm not going to make you watch me mill this whole side, but I just want to show you the setup with two parallels in the vise, and that flat we just milled is resting on those. And we just do another flat on this top until we're down to the level of that boss. Anyway, got this thing in the Kurt vise with our flats. It was super easy to indicate on that upper boss that I left on there. And right now I got the quill, got the machine set up here in drill press mode. Most precision overkill drill press you've ever seen. But I'm going to put the spot drills in for 4 corners of this rectangular pocket, and then a couple of drills up to 3/8 diameter by 1 inch deep that will clean out the corners so that my straight flats, I can nest that boring head, the extension in that pocket without corner interference. So let's go ahead and put these spot drills in and finish drills. Okay, right now I'm set up on 0, but my locations for the 4 corners of the drilled holes is plus and minus 1.240 and plus and minus 0.607. So we'll dial those in on the DRO and spot the 4 corners, and we'll just go around again with a pilot drill and around again with a 3/8 finish drill. So the first location, we're at 1.240 and plus and minus 607. Based on that, I'm going to guess my other 2 locations are here and here. If I remember correctly, this drill is a regrind, but it does work pretty well. Now these holes need to be a minimum of 1 inch deep, so I'm going to count 10 rotations of the quill. I'm going to bring the knee up until I'm close to touching. It's got enough clearance to skate across the top to the other holes. And what is my feed set on? Let's go with 1/1000 feed. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Catch. 9. For the final 3/8 hole, we got a more aggressive feed of 2.8 thousandths and a little slower RPM, 750 on the RPM. This is a bit difficult to see, but for this rectangular pocket, we've got the 4 holes in the corners. What I did was I laid in a hypothetical 1/2 inch diameter end mill here and measured the distances between the centers of that. And so the actual travel of the spindle, you know, with the X and Y on the table, is going to be that rectangle right there. And that, if I were to make that on size, we're 490 offset from 0 either side of center and 1.123 offset. I want to leave maybe 5 thousandths for cleanup, so we'll take the Y at 485 and the X at 1.118 either side of center, and we'll mill in, I think, 100 thousandths increments deep. We get 10 of those completely cleaned up, and then I'll do probably 2 passes around at the finished dimension, 1/2 inch deep and then 1 inch deep, because my flutes on this mill are not quite 1 inch long, and that will give us the exact size we need. Okay, I'm set up for the first pass, which I'm going to use the X table. And all I got to do is trace this outline without going in the wrong direction about 10 times, so wish me luck. think I'll do about half the depth before I clear this out. So I got to get my compressed air over here. Just thought I'd give you a progress look here. I'm at 810 thousandths, so I'll do one more pass and then I'll do a finish pass at a slightly shallower depth, and then we'll bump the cutter out to its final dimensions and do 2 cleanup passes. Okay, I'm at 915, so the final pass needs to be 85 thousandths deep. Okay, for the final cleanup pass, my dimensions are 1.123 and 490. And I'm going to climb cut this. This will be half depth. Feels about like it should. Virtually no play. Wanted to show you those cross dowels I had referred to earlier. And these are available, I mean, you can get them, I guess, at woodworking stores and even probably Home Depot and Lowe's, but to get some specific sizes, you would have to go to McMaster Carr. But I just noticed something, that the boring bar holes for this, which are 5/8, and if you measure a 5/8 boring bar, it's, 625, couple tenths under. These don't fit. And they're about 627, 628. So, I mean, if it was a hole in wood, I guess you just hammer them in and they're tight. But let's put these in the lathe. I'm going to put a center in, grip it by just the very end here, and while it's supported, turn that diameter down, then flip it and finish that cut so these slip in here. It's the only tool I have which is sharp enough point to reach in there. Take just a hair more. That'll do it. That one's still a little snug, so I'll have to work on that, but you get the idea. When I initially had this out, there was one corner where there was just a little bit of a flare like this, and I had to work on that. I think it was right down there. It was preventing the head from seating completely, but that is basically a perfect fit now. So that'll be a good stopping point for part 2. And what we'll do is on the last video, we'll put all the rest of the features in. Got 2 holes here, a threaded hole here, the actual pocket for the insert, and then we can start doing some testing. Had a viewer point out, this is going to be difficult to see, this shank is threaded into that body. And if you look really closely on here at some point, you can see a witness line where it looks like maybe that's about a 7/8 thread. And I don't know what holds this on. I didn't want to take this apart, but I hope it stays tight. If it doesn't, I had mentioned before I want to sleeve this, put like a 1 inch or 1.25 inch diameter. I guess I can go up to 1 1/8 with my ER40 colts, and put a sleeve that will shoulder up against this, tap that, and put that post on in where it puts it in compression, puts this in tension, and that will make that connection extremely rigid for a little bit more heavy-duty boring. So we'll do that only if necessary, but it's a good stopping point. Thanks again for watching and subscribing to Engineers Workshop. Got a lot of new subscribers from a new site that I might be posting some videos to about homemade tools. It's kind of what I've been all about here lately. So stay tuned for the next episode. Until next time from Engineers Workshop, as always, stay safe.